us to the Saturday, November 11th edition of 284 News. I'm Jacka Whitting, bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. The late Ralph T. O'Neill is set to be honored at the BVI London office on Monday with a commemorative bust as part of its 21st anniversary celebrations. Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley made the announcement at a press conference on Thursday.
While in London, we will honor the late former Premier, Honorable Ralph T. O'Neill, at a reception at BVI House. Over the past year, the London office embarked on a journey of reflection and appreciation, culminating in the final event, the highlight of which will be the unveiling of a commemorative bust in honor of the first Premier of the Virgin Islands, the Honorable Ralph T. O'Neill, OBE. As you know, it was under his leadership that BVI House was purchased, and of course the Deputy Premier was the one who actually picked the building, which has served as the location at the BVI London office since its inception. The two are inseparable. Honorable O'Neill's vision of the Virgin Islands representing itself in the UK, Europe, and beyond via our own representative office has been fully realized. He is worthy of recognition in light of the 20th anniversary of the BVI London office.
Also providing details on the celebrations in store was Deputy Premier the Honorable Lorna Smith.
I think it certainly is very fitting that Mr. O'Neill, the late Mr. O'Neill, be recognized in this fashion. He was a visionary in the sense that he understood the importance of, if you want to call it, direct representation and representation in London. Owning the building means that we not only own the building so that we can accommodate our offices, but it was also a revenue earner, and it is a revenue earner because we have at least one of the 4 floors is rented to the private sector. So it is, as I've said before, it is very fitting that he be recognized. The office, of course, is a kind of a launch pad, if you want to call it that, because it's not just used for offices in London itself, but it is also used for going further into Europe, the European Union.
The late Ralph T. O'Neill hailed from Virgin Gorda and passed away at the age of 85 in November 2019. He was the longest-served elected representative in the BVI after serving more than 40 years in office, having first been elected in 1975. In other news, the Honorable Stacey Mather, Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly and Territorial At-Large Representative, has voiced his concerns about the current state of the House of Assembly of the Virgin Islands. He proposed several recommendations aimed at improving its functionality and fostering a more apolitical environment. Mather expressed his frustrations with the ongoing blame game among political parties within the House of Assembly, labeling it as, quote, an utter waste of time, end quote. He urged elected officials to rise above petty squabbles and focus on what is most beneficial for the present and future of the House of Assembly.
There exists a political culture in the Virgin Islands that continues to serve the egos of those who seek to pass the blame from one administration to the other. It continues to be fueled by pointing out whether it was a VIP government or NDP administration, and this party politics and campaigning has been seen for what it is, an utter waste of time. I am convinced that my colleagues in the House of Assembly have enough erroneous and selfish examples of what administrations have done, whether it be a ruling government or opposition. Our country needs to see elected officials willingness to get past their chatter and just do what is sensible now and for the future of the House of Assembly.
Mather's comments come in the wake of a recent walkout by the opposition from the House of Assembly. He was among those who chose to participate in the walkout, a decision he explained was influenced by circumstances he felt compelled to address.
At the sitting of October the 13th, the Premier, before the sitting commenced, informed the members of the opposition of his intentions to make adjustments to the order paper. It was received without contention, and I appreciated his approach. However, on October 31st, we entered and sat, all 13 of us, for House at no fault of any. At that time, I've had an open and frank conversation with the members of the opposition. He could have stated his intentions to reorder the order paper and explain why. If the conversations were properly had and explanations and timelines for answering those questions were given, I am certain we would have a different outcome. We as leaders owe the public the respect and maturity to sit and discuss things before they get out of hand. A compromise could have been found then and there. It was not until we sat for almost 3 hours, had a lunch break, returned and a motion was brought up that the order paper be arranged. There was no mention at that time whether the questions would be answered in that sitting. There was, of course, no indication as to when another sitting would take place, because as the public is aware, we do not have a schedule. Hence, we are now at the end of October, going into November, which will bring about standing finance and preparations for the budget. So when would our questions be answered? As is expected, the Speaker put the motion to rearrange the order paper to a vote. And of course, the motion was carried because the government has the majority. I stood up to ensure that my frustrations with the lack of courtesy and professionalism that could have been used to avoid the outcome, that outcome was not considered. As peers, there should be a level of respect for each other.
He emphasized the need for measures to ensure the proper functioning of the House of Assembly and restore balance. To this end, he provided several recommendations which he believes, if implemented, could bring about much-needed change.
As it has been said and I stated before, establish a schedule of dates for the House of Assembly. Make the House of Assembly as booked and as busy as the government is while they are traveling all over the world. Extend the time frame for submission of questions. As it stands, it's 7 days. Give the members more time to prepare questions and give the civil service more time to provide responses. Limit the statements made by the ministers. We had 23 statements that took 3 hours on Tuesday. Host sittings for questions. This will allow for clearer expectations for both sides of the aisle as to what we are there to do. It cannot be acceptable to offer solutions in a public domain and not try as leaders to put them in place. The House of Assembly should have the same urgency as other institutions and bills that get first and third readings in the same night. There must be courage on all of us to make the decisions that help both the government and the opposition function in the way they were intended to do so. It is not a time to be fighting over and over again, just for political points.
And viewers, with that, we take you to a quick break. Stay tuned because we have more news when we return.
Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman with yours truly, Ron Grant, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 5, a 284 Media production.
Get ready for an electrifying football showdown. It's the CONCACAF Nations League, and it's coming to the British Virgin Islands. BVI takes on Dominica on November 16th, 2023 at the A.O. Shirley Recreation Ground. This is a match you won't want to miss. The action kicks off at 3 p.m., and we've got a fantastic offer for you. Tickets are just $10 for adults and free entry for primary and high school students. Ticket outlets: the BVI Football Association, CCT, 284 Media, Hazim's Beauty Supply, Mr. Nice Guy Virgin Gorda, and Speedy's Ferry Services Virgin Gorda. Don't miss your chance to witness the thrilling action as BVI takes on Dominica in the CONCACAF Nations League. Remember, it's happening on November 16, 2023 at the A.O. Shirley Recreation Ground at 3 p.m. It's going to be epic.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. The Virgin Islands achieved an impressive 100% pass rate in 12 subjects at this year's Caribbean Examinations Council Secondary Education Certificate, representing a 200% increase over 2022. Minister for Education, the Honorable Sherry De Castro, presented the results of the examination at a recent sitting of the House of Assembly.
Madam Speaker, I am pleased to announce that this year, our students have once again demonstrated their resilience and commitment to learning. Despite the unique challenges brought about by the ongoing global pandemic, our students have risen above and beyond, showing commendable results in the CSEC exams. This year, the Virgin Islands achieved an impressive 100% pass rate in 12 subjects. This represents a 200% increase over 2022. Subjects with 100% pass rate: agricultural science, single award, clothing, textile and fashion, economics, family and resource management, food, nutrition and health, industrial technology building, industrial technology electrical, industrial technology mechanical, physical education and sports, principles of accounts, theater arts, and visual arts.
Additionally, the territory recorded a pass rate of 90 to 99% in 8 subjects, including English A.
The Virgin Islands accomplished a pass rate of 90 to 99% in 8 CXE subjects: biology, Caribbean history, chemistry, English A, language, human and social biology, integrated science, office administration, and technical drawing. Madam Speaker, allow me to highlight the performance of our students in English A at this juncture. 204 students wrote the CSEC English A examination. It gives me pleasure to announce that the territory achieved a 92.6% pass rate, in which 89 students attained a grade 1 pass, 64 students a grade 2 pass, and 38 students a grade 3 pass. In addition, the Virgin Islands produced a pass rate of 80 to 89% in 2 CXE subjects: electronic document preparation and management, and information technology.
The minister praised these results as a testament to the consistent hard work of teachers and students. However, she also acknowledged that some areas require attention and improvement, particularly mathematics, in which the Virgin Islands attained a 46.6% pass rate.
Madam Speaker, while we celebrate these achievements, there are areas that require our urgent attention and improvement, and we remain committed to addressing these gaps. One such area is mathematics, in which the Virgin Islands attained a 46.6% pass rate, which represents a 2.4% decrease from 2022 and a 4.6% increase over 2021. Of the 161 students who sat the CSEC math exam, 14 students achieved grade 1, 28 achieved grade 2, and 33 achieved grade 3 passes.
She announced plans to remediate the challenges identified with mathematics, including the establishment of a math revitalization committee and a professional development session series at schools across the territory.
Madam Speaker, plans are underway to remediate the challenges identified with mathematics, especially post the hurricanes of 2017 and post-pandemic. A math revitalization committee is being set up to allow stakeholders to work together to strengthen and improve the delivery and instruction of mathematics. Professional development sessions are ongoing at schools in our territory to strengthen and improve instructional quality and remediation in mathematics. Revisions have also been made to both the scope and sequence of the VI primary and VI secondary math instructional objectives to ensure that students are exposed to each core thoroughly and meaningfully. The ministry has also created 2 new positions for instructional coaches specializing in mathematics to absorb, coach, and train teachers to increase their competency in teaching mathematics and to analyze student assessment data and develop intervention programs. The positions were advertised and placement is being finalized.
In other news, the Ministry of Financial Services, Labor and Trade has announced the establishment of an advisory committee to review minimum wage. Honorable Lorna Smith, OBE, during a recent press conference, addressed the public on the newly formed committee and their role in reviewing and advising minimum wage in the Virgin Islands.
I am happy to announce that the Ministry of Financial Services, Labor and Trade has established an ad hoc advisory committee to review the minimum wage in the Virgin Islands. As we are all aware, the minimum wage in the Virgin Islands was last increased in October of 2016 from $4 per hour to $6 per hour. A 2022 review of social assistance in the Virgin Islands by the Social Policy Research Institute observed that the minimum wage is well below what is needed to survive in the territory. The researchers cautioned, however, that the rate by which the minimum wage can be adjusted must take into account economic factors and constraints. As I have been pondering the best way forward, I have determined that the most effective approach is to establish an advisory committee to undertake a review of what the most appropriate level of the minimum wage should be. The government is conscious of the many economic challenges the people of the BVI are currently facing. We must all put our shoulder to the wheel, government, employers, and employees, to ensure that the individuals on low incomes do not bear a greater share of the burden than they should.
With these considerations in mind, Smith said she believes that this is the best way forward.
The review will be comprehensive, transparent, and involve the expertise of a diverse range of stakeholders to ensure inclusive participation and perspective. Importantly, the ad hoc committee will report by the end of March 2024. The Minimum Wage Advisory Committee is being established in accordance with Part 3 of the Virgin Islands Labor Code of 2010. The Advisory Committee will comprise of representatives from a diverse range of sectors, including our key economic sectors such as construction, tourism, and of course financial services, and will include employers, employees, sister island representatives, and young people. The committee will have access to technical support from our economists, our statisticians, financial analysts, and other government officials, as well as our development partners. This expertise will support the committee in assessing and analyzing complex data, develop and evaluating policy options, and will help them to make informed recommendations. The committee is expected to complete its review and submit its final report to me as the subject minister within 4 months of its inaugural meeting, which is scheduled for later this month, towards the end of this month.
The formation of the committee, she said, is in accordance with Part 3 of the Virgin Islands Labor Code 2010.
It is important to note that the review of the minimum wage is only one part of a wider assessment by the government of how we can address the cost of living across the Virgin Islands. We know our people need to be better supported, and I expect to make further announcements on this in the near future.
14 members will serve on this ad hoc committee, and Deputy Premier Smith has already thanked them for their time and service. And viewers, with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
This November, the sun rises on the northernmost island of the Virgin Islands and shines over an unforgettable 3-day experience. The Caribbean's most anticipated food festival, the Anegada Lobster Festival. The 24th to the 26th of November, the island's best restaurants present their best lobster dishes and other delicacies while you and 3,000 of your closest friends soak up the sun. Enjoy music from top bands, seaside activities, and win awesome prizes. There's nothing quite like the Anegada Lobster Festival. The 24th to the 26th of November. Book a room or catch a boat and be there. You'll see, it's the taste and fun you need.
ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. The Department of Youth Affairs and Sports is launching an initiative titled Promoting Our Youth in Business under the theme Youth Entrepreneurship, the Cornerstone of a Diverse Economy. In a recent interview with the Government Information Service, Director of Youth Affairs and Sports, Ms. Brenda Letsamtai, shared some insight on the purpose of the initiative and what the department hopes to achieve.
We're having a focus on youth entrepreneurship. And the real reason, behind youth entrepreneurship is that it's a tool to combat unemployment in youth. Around the world, unemployment is high overall, but it's even higher in the youth population. And the youth of the Virgin Islands, like other young people across the globe, are full of creative and unique ideas. These ideas can be nurtured into viable businesses that provide an opportunity for the youth not only to earn themselves, but to provide employment for others. They become meaningfully engaged in their own development and the development of the economy. They become the cornerstone of a diverse economy. DYAS wants to showcase the entrepreneurship talents of our youth in the territory and to expose the general public to the myriad of businesses and business ideas that are already in existence.
The initiative utilizes a unique approach to age groups, allowing a wider audience to be facilitated, including some as young as 9 years old. Letsamtai explained the approach and provided some insight as to why the department saw it as necessary towards the initiative.
Okay, we are catering to two age groups. We have the first age group is 9 to 17, are very young ones. We're calling them our youthpreneurs.
Youthpreneurs.
Aspiring youthpreneurs. Because as you are aware, legally in the BVI, you can't get a trade license until you're 18 years old.
Okay.
So they are the aspiring youthpreneurs. And then we have the youth entrepreneurs who are 18 to 30 years old.
Okay.
So
you have two brackets. We have the youthpreneurs.
It's aspiring.
Well, I mean, but youthpreneurs isn't that thing. So even if you're aspiring, because then when you get to the age, you become a youth entrepreneur. So
correct.
Youthpreneurs, the young folks. So that's ages 9 to 17.
Correct.
Right? And then we also have the youth entrepreneurs that are from 18 to 30 years of age.
Right. And in addition to that, the age brackets, for the aspiring youthpreneurs, we have broken the age down as well. So we have 9 to 13, and then 14 through 17. So as
teenpreneurs?
We just thought that, as it relates to judging,
right? Okay.
You can't judge a 9-year-old or 17.
Same as a 17-year-old.
So,
as explained by Senior Program Manager Shanice Leonard, the Youth Business Expo will provide a platform for young entrepreneurs to showcase their businesses and gain valuable exposure to possible stakeholders.
So far, we are currently having a three-day event. It's a 3-day event. So on day one, we have seminars. And
day one is when?
Day one is actually November 29th.
Okay, so the 29th.
And day two is November 30th.
Okay.
And on day three is the actual Youth Business Expo scheduled for 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Multipurpose Sports Complex. So far we have a large number of registrations, but we are seeking more registrants to, engage in this opportunity. But the Youth Business Expo, we're excited to have it. It's a platform, a space for young people, who have businesses. So, they can showcase their talents, their abilities, their products, and their services. It's also an opportunity for like-minded individuals to pretty much, see what other persons are offering, as well as have the ability to network and engage with other persons that are present. In addition to networking, they will have the opportunity to have possible partnership as well as gain exposure and insight to help enhance their businesses.
Okay.
Right. So again, the event will be taking place on the 1st of December, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Multipurpose Sports Complex.
The initiative will include 2 days of seminars aimed at equipping young entrepreneurs with the knowledge and skills they need to succeed with their businesses. Leonard and Program Officer Desiree Harrigan shared the details of those events.
All right, so the seminar is scheduled for the 29th through the 30th of November. And it starts at 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on both days. But my officer, Ms. Flanders Harrigan, will be able to share more about the seminar.
All right, thank you.
All right, so Gio, on day one, we have a business starter toolkit, actually. That is, that will encompass, or I should say, focus on, you have to get a trade license.
Okay.
Those nitty-gritties of what you need to get your business up and running. And that would be done by Mrs. Laurelie Marshall Williams. She'll be focusing on that area for us. And the second part of that day, we have money management.
Okay, important.
Can't run a business
On a barter system.
Correct. So we have Ms. Shonda Leacock and Mr. Nelson Ramirez, who would be focusing on that area for us. So that's covering day one.
And you call that the starter toolkit?
The first half is about the business starter toolkit. And then the second half of day one is about money management. I will talk about, getting your trade license, making sure you're covered with NHI, Social Security, all of that good stuff, all of that good stuff. And then we're going into money management. Because again, you can't have a business without managing your money effectively. And on day two, which is the 29th.
The 30th.
Oh, Lord, I'm sorry.
The 30th. Yeah.
That's okay.
30th.
The 30th.
Yes. The 30th. Be a brand. Oh. That speaks on you as an entrepreneur, speaks on marketing. You have to be your brand. You have to, if you're going to be a hairdresser, you gotta look good. Right? So, we're focusing on you, presenting your business in a more positive light. And that is going to be done by Mr. Karen Nelson Hall.
Oh, okay.
He will be spearheading that part of the seminar. And later that day, we have Protect Your Business. And we've partnered with Higher BVI, who will come in to speak on, the legalities of having a business and, protecting yourself so that you don't get abused.
Okay.
Harrigan, who has been highly involved with the registrants and getting them ready for the Youth Expo, also shared some insight on the registration process.
As Ms. Leonard mentioned, we have a good turnout. Okay. And of course, we're anticipating more because at the end of the day, we really want to promote youth entrepreneurship in a positive way.
For more information, contact the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports at 284-468-4949 or via email at dyas@gov.vg. And viewers, that's all for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Jacko Wooding and I will see you again next week. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
You must stop cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man protect you.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?